So Elon Musk had a pretty shocking moment the other day that went kind of viral and led to a bunch of articles talking about it. Look at this. So there's this Twitter account called Autism Capital, which I know, hilarious name. I see a lot of this stuff pop up on my feed these days. And look, the criticism that Twitter has just become like a right-wing cesspool, it's unavoidable, right? I mean, shit, I can't go a week without seeing some Hitler apologia on the timeline. Like, really? I had criticisms of Jack and the previous management of Twitter, but the criticisms for them are nothing compared to the criticisms today. This is no longer like, the public square, all opinions are welcome and diverse viewpoints. Now it's like you're going to see horrifically idiotic right-wing bullshit on a regular basis, and you're going to see it all the time. Okay, so this Autism Capital account tweeted the following. Also known as the Reich effect. Reich. Okay. All right. Weird. Kind of ominous. Interesting. People who can't defend themselves physically, women and low-T men, parse information through a consensus filter as a safety mechanism. They literally do not ask, is this true? They ask, will others be okay with me thinking this is true? This makes them very malleable to brute force manufactured consensus. If every screen they look at says the same thing, they will adopt that position because their brain interprets it as everyone in the tribe believing it. Only high T alpha males and neurotypical people, hey autists, are actually free to parse new information with an objective, is this true filter. This is why a republic of high status males is best for decision making. Democratic, but a democracy only for those who are free to think. So in other words, women and quote low T males, they're not really free independent thinkers. So what we want is a democracy, but only for autistic dudes and dudes with six packs. So in other words, you say you want a democracy, even though your position is, I'm anti-democracy. I don't want women to be able to vote. I don't want low T men to be able to. In practice, how would this even work? Do you want to take everybody's testosterone levels and you got to be over a certain line in order to be able to vote? And of course, the women are just immediately kicked to the curb. And do we test everybody for autism? And then let's say you're low T, but you have a touch of the tism. Does that count? Are you allowed to vote? Do you get fucking half a vote? Guys, this is dumbass 4chan Reddit horseshit. This is a person who hasn't left their mom's basement in 6 years, yelling because they didn't get their dino nuggies on time, but they have a sense of superiority and that everybody else is a fucking idiot because, hey, they don't agree with me politically, right? Or I struggle to fit in, therefore the problem is with them. It's like that famous Tim Pool clip where he, talking about dating, and he's like, the problem's definitely not me. Okay, buddy, all right. In comes Captain Autism himself. Elon Musk says, interesting observation. In other words, yeah, good point. Good point? This is an interesting observation. This is just fucking authoritarian drivel. People asking for philosopher kings of the autistic and the roided up. Okay, look, I've been tough on Elon Musk for a very long time. I'm not anywhere near tough enough. I'm just not. I need to be way tougher on this guy. Let's call a spade a spade. Yeah, he has a lot of money. Okay. He's also a fucking idiot. Every single day he goes out there and says something that is just mind-numbingly stupid, fucking mosquito IQ level bullshit. Do you see this battle that's been going on now with Brazil? So Brazil says to him, look, we had our own version of January 6th. You had Bolsonaro supporters storm the Capitol and fuck shit up and have a riot. You got all this misinformation and disinformation that's spreading on social media, which led to the Bolsonaro supporters doing that. It's genuinely destabilizing and threatening our democracy. Therefore, here we have a law. They don't have a First Amendment and a Constitution like we do. They don't have free speech, free expression, etc. like we do. And so they say, look, if you want Twitter/X to remain up in this country, you're going to have to abide by our rules and our laws. And that means some of these big misinformation spreading accounts, they got to go, right? Elon Musk pretends to be a martyr and fights it and acts like, I am a defender of free speech. I will not give into it. Hold on, fella. Elon Musk has repeatedly given into censorship attempts from the right-wing Hindu nationalist Modi government of India and the right-wing theocratic Erdogan government of Turkey. He routinely complies with what right-wing theocratic or authoritarian governments, what they say, hey, you can't allow this here, you can't allow that here. He's like, oh, yes, sir. Absolutely, sir. No problem, sir. We'll follow the law. And then, oh, would you look at that? The one time he makes a big stink and pretends like he supports free speech, it's because it's a left-wing government led by Lula. Wow. What a surprise. What a coincidence. So don't tell me you're some principled crusader for free speech. If you were, which, by the way, based, you should have been. I'm pro-free speech. I wish he was actually consistent on that. Then he would have told Modi to fuck off. He would have told Erdogan to fuck off. He would have told the other right-wing authoritarian governments to fuck off. And then you could say it to Lula, and I'd certainly be on your side. But you can't say, I'll give in to all the right-wingers, but I won't give in to the left-winger. Because then, look, the bottom line is, he's just sympathetic to right-wing bullshit. He's just, and the idea that he's anti-democracy, I mean, he's making that crystal clear here. By the way, remember this? This was a moment on Twitter. He very famously responded to somebody. What was it? It was in relation to Bolivia or Venezuela. There was one of these countries where it looked like a coup was happening or was going to happen. And he very famously chimed in and responded to somebody. And he was serious when he said this too. He said, we will coup whoever we want. Quote, we will coup whoever we want. So there's another, this isn't even evidence. This is just proof. You're supporting coups of foreign governments because you don't agree with them. Okay, so you're not pro-democracy. You're just not. So all the bullshit about Enlightenment values and Western values, and this is what we represent, and this is what we stand for. No, out the window. We'll coup whoever we want. Interesting observation to have us ruled by a philosopher kings of autistic people and fucking roided up freaks. And then there's also this. This happened, I believe, the same day as the other thing. So Tucker Carlson had a guy in his podcast, Daryl Cooper. And this guy just said some things that were just preposterous on the show. He basically said Winston Churchill was the chief villain of World War II. The chief villain. I wonder if anybody else actually deserves that moniker more than Winston Churchill. Now, Winston Churchill was a son of a bitch, and he was an imperialist. There are a lot of dead bodies because of him in India and elsewhere, right? But in the conflict of World War II in particular, was there somebody who was worse than Winston? I don't know. Let me think about that one a little bit. So look at this. This is what Tucker says. Daryl Cooper may be the best and most honest popular historian in the United States. His latest project is the most forbidden of all. Trying to understand World War II. Okay, so what was said in that podcast? Cooper recently joined Carlson on an episode of The Tucker Carlson Show. During their conversation, Cooper claimed that Winston Churchill was the chief villain of World War II because he, quote, was primarily responsible for that war becoming what it did. He also claimed that the Holocaust was some kind of unintended consequence of Germany being, quote, completely unprepared to deal with the millions and millions of prisoners of war. According to Cooper, millions, quote, ended up dead because there was no food to feed them and German soldiers decided it was, quote, more humane to just finish them off. You know, I'm not quite sure that's exactly how it went down. I'm pretty sure there were concentration camps and death camps and a stated policy of complete annihilation of the Jewry. I'm pretty sure that is how it went out. No, it was like an oopsie. It was an oopsie, and the real chief villain was fucking Winston Churchill. And here is Elon Musk chiming in. Very interesting, worth watching. Oh, is it Elon? Now we're doing World War II historical revisionism. So this is what I mean, guys. Like, social media has become a cesspool. Independent media, new media has become a fucking cesspool. It's a bunch of misinformation spewing freaks. And one of the people that's at the top of the food chain here in terms of he owns one of the major social media sites. He's gone, bro. He's mentally just gone. He's just so out of it. He's so extreme. You scroll through his shit on a regular basis, and it's just the worst drivel you've ever seen in your life. And I still can't get over the fucking massive hypocrisy of portraying himself as, the free speech hero, and then he goes in there, and what does he do? He fucking bans journalists who report shit that he doesn't like. He's incredibly ban happy. He loves censorship as long as he's the censor. And guess what? He gets to be the censor. They have a like a warning. If somebody puts the word cisgender, they hit you with like a warning underneath, right? Saying it like violates the terms and services. He says, oh, that's hate speech. Are you fucking kidding me? Anyway, God damn it. So Elon Musk is now out of the closet as not really believing in democracy. And this is what you get, right? This is what you get. I love all the right-wingers who claim that I'm against the elitists. And then who are they sucking off the most these days? Billionaire Elon Musk, Nepo baby Donald Trump, and Nepo baby RFK Jr. Anti-elitist, but your favorite people are a billionaire, a Nepo baby, and a Nepo baby. Says a lot, doesn't it? Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.